Your main man returns with frightfully true stories, real life RPG. That's right, I'm going to regale you with tales of horror of things that I have seen. And in this week's installment, I talk about Eric Tarkus. Now, this guy was a personification of white trash. One of the worst human beings that I've ever met in my entire life. The kind of guy you had to watch to make sure he wasn't walking out of your house with stuff. And my nephew would always want to bring him around. My nephew's only like a year younger than I am. I'd always want to bring this guy around. Always, for years, and saddle me with him. So for about the time I was, I don't know, maybe 13 to maybe 18, periodically, I'd get stuck with having this guy around. It'd be like trying to get my nephew involved. Oh, Eric over here. God. All right, fine. That's the kind of guy I am. I want to get him involved in things. Bring his dumbass friend. And this guy wanted to play one time. He wanted to play a dwarf. I think I just got the dwarf's handbook. So I was like, all right, here, take a look at the dwarf's handbook. And I said, here, look at a gully dwarf. Because let's face it, in real life, this was a gully dwarf. This guy was a real life gully dwarf. Just picture that. Like without a beard. Probably has a beard now. But without a beard. A real life gully dwarf. Just ignorant as could be. He plays this gully dwarf. He makes a gully dwarf character. And he chooses to be a wizard. Okay. I'm really a wizard. You know, this kind of guy I wouldn't trust with a fighter, and he wants to play a wizard. So I'm like, all right. This is, of course, his first level. It's AD&D 2nd edition. He's this gully dwarf wizard. And sadly, what I want you to understand is this is the best role-playing I ever saw out of a guy. First of all, in the game, at one point, he goes off and starts having sex with a tree. That's right. He starts having sex with a tree. Real dendrophiliac action. I'm like, oh, you have to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. You're okay. All right. I mean, I can't stop you. As a game master, even then, I understood. You let player do what they're going to do. I can't stop him. So he gets to hump the tree. I'm like, this is wonderful. Okay. So he humps the tree, and eventually he finishes. That's not the worst part of the story. Something happened at some point where he stopped liking the character. Imagine that, right? So he stopped liking his character for some reason, and he's a first level wizard, right? So we all know first level wizards have 4 hit points in AD&D 2nd edition. I mean, I don't know if Goliath had a column bonus. He might have even had like 5 hit points. He might have had a column bonus in there, maybe possibly even 6, but probably not that high. But he may have like 4 or 5 hit points. And he has magic missile, right? He's perfectly healthy. And he goes, I turn my hands inward. And he casts magic missile on himself for no in-game reason other than out of the game he wanted to kill the character so he can make a different character. I turn my hands inward. Because, you got to cast. Even then I would try to put over, even early in high school, I try to put over the fact that you got to actually do something to cast spells. I wasn't as cognizant of how to really bring that action about. But I turn my hands inward. And he cast magic missile on himself. Now, anyone out there that's cast magic missile before realizes at first level it does 2 to 5 points of damage. So, guess what you cannot do with magic missile at first level? That is kill yourself. It is completely impossible. It just does like some bludgeoning damage from this magic orb. Right? Boom! He knocks himself completely out. I just knocked himself out like at a time, but of course, back in the day, I'll guarantee you, man, it was a rare sight if somebody played a cleric. I don't know why. I love to play them, but let's face it, I was the one running the game. And I'm sure my nephew's character was a fighter, because all he ever played with fighters. Like every great once in a while, like a rogue. But that was a rare sight. So he just lays there. So, I mean, I think he laid there for like an hour, probably, an hour and a half, without getting to play. He just laid there, unconscious, and eventually, I guess, several days later, he wakes up, or maybe someone healed him. I can't remember the exact specifics there, but I already laid there for a long time, getting to do nothing, and eventually he comes back around. That is one of the actual, real horror stories I have from role-playing games. I turned my hands inward. As he turned his hand inward, he did know one thing, and all of you need to know it out there as well, and that is the one thing that will help you sleep at night and make you understand the true nature of the world, and that is that I'm the tag team champions.